तमेव लोकशङ्करं नमामि शङ्करं गुरुं नमामि शङ्करं गुरुं नमामि शङ्करं गुरुं.
शृङ्गाद्रिवासाय विधिप्रियाय कारुण्यवाराम्बुधये नताय विज्ञानदायाखिलभाग्यदाय श्रीशारदाख्याय नमो महिम्ने. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Offering my Sashtanga Pranamas to the Pada Padmas of the Ubhay Jagadgurus. In this episode, we shall continue with our discussion of the Kamalajadayitashtaka, composed by the 33rd Jagadguru of the Dakshinamnaya SRINGERI Sharada Peetha, Jagadguru Shri Shri Sacchidananda Shivabhinava Narasimhabharati Mahaswami. In this shloka, the Acharya is speaking to Devi directly. मातस्त्वत् पादपद्मं न विविधकुसुमैः पूजितं जातु भक्त्या गातुं नैवाहमीशे जडमतिरलसस्त्वद्गुणान् दिव्यपद्यैः मूके सेवाविहीनेऽप्यनुपमकरुणामर्भकेऽम्बेव कृत्वा विद्यां शुद्धां च बुद्धिं कमलजदयिते सत्वरं देहि मह्यम्. If we look at the rough meaning of the shloka, Mataha, O mother, Devi, Amma, Tvat Padapadmam Vividha Kusumaihi Na Jatu Bhaktya Pujitam. Na Jatu, not even once have I Padapadmam Pujitam. I have not made your feet worshipped. I have not worshipped your feet even once. Vividha Kusumaihi, with various flowers, and more importantly, Bhaktya, with Bhakti. Not once have I worshipped you with flowers, with bhakti in my heart. And second, divyapadyaihi tvad gunan gatum na ishe. Here ishe means it is a verb. It means I cannot. So I cannot sing of your divine qualities with great padyas and shlokas. I cannot compose great poetry on your illustrious qualities. Why can you not do this? Or honestly, this applies for both. Why can you not compose poetry on my qualities? And why have you not worshipped me? Acharya says, because I am jadamatihi alasaha. Jadamatihi, because my mind is dull, and alasaha, because I am lazy. I have not worshipped your feet, and I have not sung your praises in verse 4. But yet, Devi, you must protect me. Why? Why should I protect someone that does not worship me and someone that does not even sing of me? Because there is one example that Acharya shows from the world. A mother has just given birth to a newborn child. So what is the state of that newborn child? Muke. That child cannot even speak. It cannot say thank you to its mother. It cannot ask for food. It cannot show verbal appreciation to the mother. And also seva vihine. The child does absolutely nothing for the mother. The mother has to look after the child and feed it and clothe it and bathe it. But the child, that newborn child, does absolutely nothing for the mother. There is no help and there is no seva, there is no service that the mother receives from the child. So, this is the situation in the world. Muke seva vihinepi. Even though this is the case, what does the mother do? Anupama karunam arbhake amba iva kritva. Just as a mother shows boundless compassion towards her newborn child, although the child is mute and does not thank her, and although the child performs no service to her, just as the mother showers her compassion and has so much mercy for the child and does everything for the child, in that same way, Devi, although I have not sung your praises in verses, although I have not worshipped your feet, you must still protect me and of course give me Shuddha Vidya and Shuddha Buddhi. First of all, we need to see one thing. Acharya has said that I have not worshipped you and I have not sung your praises, even then you must grace me. What does this mean? We need to look at the flip side. It means that if you sing Devi's praises, if you worship Devi, Devi will grace you. Right? If Acharya says, even though I have not done this, even then you should grace me, which means that if you definitely want Devi to grace you, you must sing Devi's praises and you must worship her feet. How should we worship her feet? Acharya said, Vividha kusumaihi bhaktya. You must worship Devi's feet with various flowers and with bhakti. What does it mean to worship Devi's feet with various flowers? Devi is no doubt fond of flowers. We have in Lalita Sahasranama, Chandpaka, Shoka, Punnaga, Saugandhika, Lasatkacha. Devi is fond of adorning herself with various types of flowers. So that is one thing, not denying that. But we have one Abhiyuktokti, one Subhashita that has been coming down in our parampara. What are the true flowers that Bhagavan appreciates? Ahimsa prathamam pushpam, pushpam indriya nigraha. Sarvabhutadaya shaucham. In this way, tapah pushpam, japah pushpam. In this way, kshantyah pushpam tathaivacha. In this way, all the various good qualities of our mind are the flowers that Bhagavan would love the most. So, in these shlokas, for example, kshantyah pushpam, forbearance is a flower. Sarvabhutadaya pushpam, showing compassion for all beings, that is one flower. In the same way, ahimsa, abstaining from injury to any other being, that is a pushpa. So in this way, all of these flowers, when offered to Bhagavan, that is the flower that Bhagavan appreciates the most. And above all else, Acharya said, bhaktya, whatever you do in a puja, whether it be little or great, whether it be costly or cheap, whatever you do, the most important thing is their bhakti. The story of Kuchela proves to us all that it is not the opulence that Bhagavan cares about, but it is the bhakti in one's heart that Bhagavan truly looks at. So it is for that reason that Bhagavad Pada also says in the Shivananda Lahari, Gabhire kasare vishati vijane ghora vipine vishale shaile cha bhramati kusumartham jadamatihi samarpyaikam chetas sarasijam umanatha bhavate Sukhenavasthatum jana iha najanati kimaho. Here Bhagavad Pada laughs at the ignorant people of the world. What do? They decide that they want to worship Bhagavan with flowers. And what do they immediately do? Gabhire kasare vishati. They immediately jump into deep lakes to get lotuses from there. Vishati vijane ghora vipine. They enter deep and dense forests, treacherous forests, so that they can get flowers from there. Vishale shaile cha bhramati. They scale lofty peaks and they climb great mountains in order to get the flowers at those places. Why does he do this? Kusumartham, to get flowers to worship you. Why? Because he is jadamati. His mind is not working properly. He is not using his head. He is not thinking properly. So then what should he do? Where else will you get flowers from? If you get it, you need to get it from a lake where there are lotuses, or you need to get it from a forest where there are flowering trees, or you need to go to a mountain peak wherein the slopes will have some more flowery trees. Then where else are you supposed to get a flower from? Acharya says, none of that. There is one flower that is enough, that will surpass all other flowers. There is one flower that Bhagavan values above all else. There is one flower that is 1,000 times more valuable than the most valuable flower that you could find in the world. What is that? Samarpya ekam chetas sarasijam umanata bhavate. Bhagavan, he does all of this, but he does not offer one flower to you, and that is the lotus of his heart. If he truly offers his heart to you, that is enough. Janaiha sukhena avasthatam. He can live happily ever after. Literally, he can live happily ever after. Janaiha najanati kimaho. Alas, the layman of the world, the everyday person who does not think in this way, he does not know that he can remain peaceful forever, he can be happy forever, if he only submits this one flower, the one lotus of his heart to you. So in this way, it is of paramount importance that we submit our heart to Devi when we do puja. Bhaktya, at least once, if we do puja to Devi with bhakti, that is more than enough to ensure that Devi will take care of her yoga kshemas. In the same way, Gatum Naivahamishe Jadamatirasas Tadgunan Divya Padyehi, Acharya has said that I cannot sing your qualities in great padyas. Why? Because Devi Manovacha Magochara is what the Puranas are telling us. In the same way, we also have one Upanishad mantra, Yato Vacho Nivartante Apraapya Manasa Saha. To describe that Paramatma, the mind cannot do it and speech also cannot do it. There is no combination of words that can accurately describe the true nature of that Brahman. So this aside, this is the Upanishadic meaning, but that aside, Devi herself, the Saguna Devata also is so great that no number of poems could accurately depict her. And on top of that, Divya Padyehi, the writer also needs to have great poetic prowess if he wishes to accurately describe Devi's qualities. So obviously we are all not poets. We are not capable of composing normal poetry, let alone illustrious poetry like Kalidasa. So therefore I cannot praise you. This is why the Purvacharyas, Bhagavatpada, Sacchidananda, Shivabhinava, Mahaswami, Appaya Dikshitendra, Nilakantha Dikshita, that is why all of these Acharyas, Purvacharyas and our Gurus, that is why Kalidasa, all of these Mahakavis, there is a reason why they have given us great literature. It is because we are not capable of writing that literature, that those people who are capable of writing that have written it and passed it down to us. Whether Bhagavatpada wrote Shivananda Lahari and Saundarya Lahari or not, does not make much of a difference to Bhagavatpada. But because Bhagavatpada has written such illustrious poetry, we are all able to recite that poetry, learn its meaning, and thereby think of Devi's glory. So we may not be able to write Divya Padyas, but we have the Divya Padyas of Purvacharyas, which we must make it a habit to recite every day. Those Acharyas have given us such great Sahitya, so it is our duty that we recite at least some shlokas from that Sahitya every single day. That is why the Jagadguru, Sannidhanam Varu also, Jagadguru Bharati Mahaswami also has initiated something in the last year that you all would have seen as well. It was the case in every sabha that happens in the matha that we would sing, Vidwans would sing a shloka or some stotra, some song dedicated to Devi or the Jagadguru, some song would be sung, and then a Vaidika Prarthana would be done, and then Guru Vandana would be done and the program would start. But Sannidhanam Varu, being the torchbearer of the Shankara, the foremost torchbearer of the Shankara Sampradaya, being the very Pratirupa of Bhagavatpada himself, because Acharya said in the Mathamnayana Shasana, Sohameveti Vigneyaha, Asmat Piyat Samarodaf Parivrad Uttalakshanaha, Sohameveti Vigneyaha. All the Jagadgurus of this Peetha are no different from Bhagavatpada himself. So Sannidhanam Varu, being the very form of Bhagavatpada also, being conversant with the Peetha Sampradayas also, and knowing what will bestow Shreyas to all the Shishyas, has added one more thing to this Sampradaya that exists in the Matha. So the previous Sampradaya in the Matha was, before any Sabha that happens in the Matha, Vaidika Prarthana would be done, Guru Vandana would be done, and some song would be sung on Devi or the Guru. Sannidhanam Varu has added one more thing to that called Shankara Stotra Patana. Before every Sabha that takes place in the Matha, a series of shlokas written by Bhagavatpada must be sung. That is up to the singer. But one shloka on Ganesha, one shloka on Shiva, one shloka on Devi, one shloka on Vishnu. In this way, shlokas composed by Bhagavatpada encompassing the gamut of Devatas in Sanatana Dharma must be sung before every single function in SRINGERI, every single sabha that takes place in the Matha. So if this is the case in the Matha, then what more is the duty of us as Shishyas of this Matha? So it is very important that we tell at least, that we recite and read at least some part of Bhagavatpada's Stotra Vangmaya every day. So this is one more thing that Acharya is telling us. And then Acharya has said one more thing in the Stotra. Acharya has said, I have not sung about you and I have not worshipped you because I am Jadamati and Alasa. I have Jadamati, as we said, means dull, Alasa means lazy. I have not composed poems about you because my mind is dull, and I have not worshipped you because I am lazy. First of all, this is a reminder to all of us that you should never be lazy when it comes to puja. There should be no, what we call in Shastra as, it should be, as we say in Shastra, as Yatha Shakti. It should be Yatha Shakti. What does Yatha Shakti mean? The Samasa also is very interesting. The phrase Yatha Shakti means Shaktim Anatikramya, without transgressing our capabilities. So, for example, if we can put 10 rupees in the hundi, no one is telling you to put 100 rupees. So, Yatha Shakti means as per your capabilities. But then we may get the question, why is the Samasa like this? Yatha Shakti, Shaktim Anatikramya. So, one Pandita has given a meaning that it is as though the person that whoever sees us do that task should wonder, is he crossing the limits or is this his limit? So, in that way, Yatha Shakti can also, through that artha, it can also mean that you must put your efforts to the fullest. That is what Yatha Shakti means. It means without transgressing your capabilities, but while also putting your energy to the fullest, while doing as much as you can. So, in this way, some Pandita has jokingly explained how we can understand the word Yatha Shakti in one more way. So, in this way, we should worship Devi. The second thing we will get is, how can Acharya even say this about himself? Acharya, this 33rd Acharya of the Peetha, the 33rd Jagadguru, had taken sannyasa at the age of 8. This Acharya had mastered all the Shastras, all of Sahitya, by the time that Acharya was 12. And when Acharya was just maybe 15, 16, that age, Acharya had seen the end of Tarka Shastra. We have records in the Matha that Panditas would write Krodapatras and bring them to the Acharya when the Acharya is 15 or 16. And the Acharya would correct those things. So, Panditas who have spent decades in Tarka Shastra would write Krodapatras and bring them to the Acharya. We have, for example, some Simha Vyaghra Lakshana. We have some Krodapatras regarding those things, which have been written by Panditas. Say Mahaswami Pritaye, they will write in the end that we have written this for the Acharya, for the Mahaswami. Acharya was then maybe just 15 or 16. And when they brought that, the Jagadguru at the time just 15 or 16, after studying Tarka Shastra for only 4 or 5, maybe 3 or 4 years, would correct the mistakes in those Krodapatras. So, such is the Panditya of Acharya. And the saying that Acharya cannot compose poems on Devi is the most foolish thing possible. Because we have seen Bhakti Sudha Tarangini, we have seen the greatness of Acharya's poetry, Prithvi Dhara Rajaputriashtaka, Devi Dhamashtaka, and Kamalajadayitashtaka, Vani Padavalamba Stotra. So many stotras have been written, Vidhimanasa Hamsa Stotra, so many, Sharada Mahimashtakam, Mahima Stotram, Sharada Mahima Stotram. There are so many stotras that Acharya has written, forget about all other devatas, on Sharadamba herself. So, it is very laughable for Acharya to say that I cannot compose poems on you. So, we must understand that Acharya is saying this for the layman. Acharya is saying this on our behalf. This is absolutely nothing to do with Acharya. And just as Abhinava Shankara, the 33rd Jagadguru is famed as Abhinava Shankara, has written something like this. The same Adi Shankara also has written a shloka in the same way in Shivananda Lahari. Smrito Shastre Vaidye Shakuna Kavita Gana Phanito Purane Mantreva Stuti Natana Hasye Shvachaturaha. Acharya says about himself in Shivananda Lahari. I don't know Shastra, I do not know Purana, I do not know Kavitva, I do not know how to speak nicely, I do not know how to praise Devatas nicely. This obviously does not even hold an ounce of weight in Bhagavad Pada. So Bhagavad Pada also wrote that for people like us. So that is the case. And the last thing that Acharya has shown in this, the Muke Seva Vihine Pyanamakaruna Marbhakem Bevakritva, is a reminder that Paramatma does not need a cause to show mercy. Paramatma does not need a cause to grace bhaktas. That is why in Lalita Sahasranama also we have one name, Avyaja Karuna Murtihi. And also Bhagavad Pad also says in Shivanand, in Saundari Lahari, Jagatratum Shambhoho Jayati Karuna Kachir Aruna. Bhagavad Pada does not even say Karuna Vati Jagatratum Asti. Bhagavad Pada does not say that the Devi with Karuna is ready to protect the world. Bhagavad Pada says Karuna. Devi is Karuna. She is composed of Karuna. Devi, if Karuna Rasa has a form, if compassion takes upon a form, that is Devi. So Karuna itself, Aruna, taking upon a reddish form, is there to protect the world. That is the greatness of Devi's Daya. And as we said, Lalita Sahasranama extols Devi as Avyaja Karuna Murtihi. Vyaja means some cause. Avyaja karuna murti. Devi needs no cause. She needs no excuse to show karuna. She will show karuna regardless. What is it that we have to do though? What does it mean when we say that Devi is ready to show karuna on everyone? Why is it that only some people get Devi's grace and some people do not? What is the cause for this? When Devi is Avyaja Karuna Murti, then why is it that only some people get her grace and some people do not? For this, we must see Gita. Bhagavan says, Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. I reside equally in all beings. Name dveshyosti na priyaha. There is no one that I dislike, there is no one that is dear to me. Then you are gracing some people and some people are not being graced. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham. Whoever worships me, I am closer to him. Whoever worships me, he is close to me. That is all it is. And Bhagavad Pada very nicely in the Bhashya here writes one line here. Yatha agnihi samipam upasarpatam sheetam apanayati. Durasthananto napanayati. Bhagavad Pada writes that Agni is there is a fire. Fire does not need a cause to burn anyone. It will not say, I will burn you because I like you or because I don't like you. I will not burn you because I like you. There is nothing like that. Fire will burn everyone equally. But Acharya writes there, Yatha samipam upasarpadam sheetam apanayati. If someone comes close to the fire, he will be relieved of his coldness. However, someone staying far away from the fire will not be relieved of the coldness. This is not the fire's partiality. The fire is equally ready to remove the chill that everyone feels. But it is the person who is cold, it is his job to come close to the fire and get relieved of his coldness. In the same way, Devi is ready to grace anyone who worships her and anyone who seeks refuge in her. It is our job to do that upasarpana of Devi, to go into Devi's sannidhi, to seek refuge with Devi, and we said bhaktya, to offer our manas to Devi and thereby become the recipients of Devi's boundless anugraha. So with the grace of Devi, let us worship Devi as much as possible. Let us pray to Devi in the divine stotras, in the great stotras that our Purvacharyas have given us. And let us pray to her that in due course of time she gives us Shuddha Vidya and Shuddha Buddhi. In the last two shlokas of this stotra, Acharya summarizes the style of Vedanta sadhana that is done. We will learn about those shlokas in the coming episodes. Namah Shankaraya.
Namami Shankaram Guru.